Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Fans have been awaiting it for years. A clash between icons from Capcom and Marvel alike. Everyone was more than eager to see their favorite characters do battle. Then, one day at Comic-Con, things would change forever. The game's director, Ryoto Nitsuma, confirmed that many fan-requested characters would not be featured. Among them, Phoenix Wright. This news threw the world into chaos. Babies everywhere cried, and a series of natural disasters occurred. However, one man would stand up for us. Shu Takumi. Takumi is the creator of Phoenix Wright, and has said that if enough fan support is generated, he'll fight for Wright's inclusion in the game. But Phoenix is stupid and can't fight. Objection! Well, if that's the case, I guess we have to prove you wrong. And that's what I plan to do now. Fighters require a few skills. Agility, endurance, strength, cunning, and, well, fighting skills. And I can prove that Phoenix has all of these, so you can get back under the bridge. Most people's concerns is that Phoenix wouldn't be able to take a punch, but he's already done this twice, and more. First, let's take a look at Ace Attorney, Case 2. Phoenix tracks down the killer and confronts him, but the killer doesn't like that though, so turns to Phoenix and says, well, he doesn't actually say anything, he just punches Phoenix in the face. But Nick doesn't take any damage. Also, in Case 3 of Trials and Tribulations, Phoenix takes a punch from a feminine but buff Frenchman, and he doesn't go down that time either. Now, let's skip ahead a bit to Justice for All, Case 1. After Phoenix wakes up from his nightmare, little does he know that someone's about to hit him over the head with a fire extinguisher. The only damage he takes is temporary amnesia, which is quite a feat considering that many people have died from blunt force trauma in the series. Now we're going forward one case, where Phoenix is in court against Franziska von Karma, who doesn't take kindly to having a butt whoop, and decides to unleash a flurry of whips onto Phoenix, who copes pretty well, but eventually, well, falls unconscious. Now we're going all the way to the last case of Trials and Tribulations, where Phoenix has to warn his friends about a murderer who may be on the loose, and heads off over a burning bridge, which collapses, plummeting him 40 feet into a river. Most people who've fallen off said bridge have died, and most of the others have been swept away, never to be seen again. Phoenix? Well, he just gets a bad cold and needs to rest in hospital for a few days. Finally, there's Apollo Justice, where he survives his character being ruined. Well, what I meant was, he actually performs a feat that's beyond superhuman. He gets hit by a car, flung 30 feet into the air, and hits his head on a pole, and is sent to hospital, with a sprained ankle. Now, in this situation in real life, a normal person, if they survived may I add, would sustain multiple fractures, multiple broken bones, head injuries, potential brain damage, spinal injuries, and most likely paralyzation. Phoenix gets a sprained ankle, and nothing more. But he'll need more than endurance. He needs to dodge attacks too in order to survive. I present to you Trials and Tribulations, Case 1. Phoenix's girlfriend becomes a suspect, and in order to save her, he steals the crucial evidence to his case. Now, let's think about this. Mia Fey is holding the pendant behind a bench. Phoenix is over here, behind another bench. He manages to rush Mia and steal the pendant without her knowing, and escapes the bailiffs for a while before being brought back. He then proceeds to eat said pendant by chewing it. Said pendant is made of metal and glass. His teeth are probably strong enough to bite half the roster in a submission. Which brings me to my next point, the strength to fight back. In this same case, Phoenix, with one hand mind you, manages to shove another person about 4 to 5 meters back. Pretty hefty. Now rewind to Case 2 of Justice for All. While Maya is channeling a spirit, the massive heavy metal doors are locked, preventing all entry. When a gunshot goes off though, Phoenix barges his way in. That door is extremely heavy, remember. Now, in order to counter enemy strategies, Phoenix would need supreme wit and cunning. Oh, that's right. He's a lawyer who's won battles of wits with corrupt law officials, master assassins, and evil geniuses. But there's no way he could have a moveset that sticks to his character. Oh, that's right. You haven't played the games. Allow me to fill you in. First, there's the obvious.
Objection! Hold it! Take that!
Then you need a little creativity. Phoenix is a Steel Samurai fan, so who's to say he couldn't learn some moves from his TV hero? And fans will be familiar with the famous stepladder argument. Capcom could get creative with some moves involving the stepladder. Or ladder, depending on which way you go. Maybe they've watched Final Destination too. Now, this move isn't in the games, but imagine, a parody of Captain Falcon, it's the Phoenix Punch! And haven't even started with the plentiful assists. Franziska could unleash her flurry of whips on the opponent, and Phoenix. Gumshoe could come in with Missile, the vicious police dog. Mask to Mask could fly in and hit the opponent. Godo could try and fire an optical blast and give up and throw a coffee mug instead. And maybe even the Blue Badger could show up. And as for supers, here's 3 I think fit best. Level 1. Phoenix presents the Megatama, which binds the opponent in Cyclops and hits them with one massive objection! Level 2. Phoenix points, and if he makes contact with the opponent, they're sent into his nightmare from Justice for All, and get smashed by the evil judge's gavel. Level 3. A court argument between Phoenix and Edgeworth. The opponent will get tossed around by the speech bubbles, the evidence, and the close-ups, and then finally get squashed by the judge's gavel. So, that about wraps up this video. If you want to help with the cause, there's some links in the description. There's the thread where it all began, where you can scour for information and show your support. There's the Cap Community suggestion box, where you can make a suggestion for Phoenix and vote for the others. There's also a variety of Facebook pages you can join and post on. And if you've got Twitter, tag #PhoenixFright in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to try and show some support. If Phoenix isn't in, Takumi-san might cry. We don't want that. So for now, court is adjourned.